My name's Larry, and I'm from Irvington, New York. I like to play tennis, and I like to walk dogs. I have a lot of interests, movies, selling stuff on eBay. I was a social worker for 36 years.
Tell us about the story of your injury from the very beginning and what led you to call us.
Sure. So while I was still working in the office, like I said, I was a social worker, the work entailed, talking to people basically, but with the new technology, we went from writing stuff, in notes to, I'd say 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, to putting most things on the computer, especially the intake interview. And the intake interview with a new client could take 45 minutes to an hour. So it was a lot of moving my head between the client and the computer. And I think that's probably what led me to having pain in my neck. And at first it wasn't that bad. Like, 2018, 2019, the pain would come and go. But towards 2020, the pain got worse and didn't go away and would interrupt my sleep to the point that the pain was causing me to get up, I'd say every couple of hours. So that's when I first decided I went to see a physician. They took x-rays. I went for a CAT scan, and pretty much the diagnosis was pinched nerve and arthritis. So there was no significant, it wasn't like it was broken, it wasn't anything like that, but the pain was severe all the time. So very painful. There were some days, like I said, that the pain was so debilitating that pretty much I just had to stay in bed with ice. Because, like I said, it wasn't just like the neck over here. The pain would go from here and shoot up into being a headache. So you had a headache, you had a neck pain, and when you turned, if you went driving, turning to the left was not possible.
What was your understanding of what a PT would do for you before you came to see us?
Well, I figured the PT would show me what exercises I could do to hopefully strengthen this area, strengthen the muscles, so maybe somehow, although I wasn't really sure, somehow the muscles gaining strength would somehow alleviate some of the pain. But by coming here, Dr. Lin, he uses a variety of exercises, and he changes the exercises and he changes the weights as you go, so it becomes it becomes a little harder as you go, the exercises, because I guess he's trying to build the muscles and build the strength, so that eventually you feel better. It worked, because like I said, now I've been here 4 or 5 months and I'm 90% better. The thing is with Dr. Lin, he's very hands-on. It's not like you have 15 people in the physical therapy office. It's just me and maybe one other client for the whole hour. So he was very supervisory as to what I was doing. And when I did an exercise wrong, be it with a weight or with the bands he uses, he was very quick to gently correct how I was doing something. Because unbeknownst to me, if you do something even a little bit off, it can have a big effect on the neck and I suspect other areas. So that's what brought me here. And I started coming twice a week. And the exercises, including with these bands that you stretch, and the very lightweight work we did. And he did something which I have never done before called cupping, where he would apply cups to the bad area, and I guess somehow they take the air out of the cups and I guess somehow it gets the blood flowing. But anyway, I guess you could look that up online. The cupping it's called, but I had never done it before, and unbelievably, the pain after the cupping went away. Went away. This is after like 4 years of pain. The pain went away. Now, it was in conjunction, I suspect, with the exercises that we were doing here in the office and the homework exercises I was doing at home that he told me to do. So now I've been coming here like November, December, like 4 months, and I would say the pain is 90% gone.
What has changed in your life since coming to see us? As in, what are you now able to do that you couldn't do before when pain got in the way?
Yeah, the number one thing is I'm able to sleep. If I go to sleep now at 11, I'm not waking up with pain most nights. And I could sleep through the night like 90% of the time. So I'm not doing the showers in the middle of the night. I'm not going to the freezer for ice in the middle of the night. And I make plans. And if it's the rare day that I have neck pain and I'm not scheduled to see Dr. Lin, I could always call him and he tells me to come in. And then, through the different exercises and through the cupping, usually I walk out fine.
Of all of the things you've enjoyed about coming to see us, what was the thing you liked best?
I think I liked his supervision the best. It's very personal. It's very hands-on, and I like the variety of exercises. I mean, I think in the course of an hour, I must do about 10 different short exercises that focus on the neck area. So it's not like you're doing 15 minutes of one thing and you get bored and you start slacking off. You only do it for like 3-4 minutes and then bang, you're onto something else. And the other thing is, like I said, there's only like 2 or 3 people also in the same area. Sometimes you're the only one there. But even if there's 1 or 2 people, so you get to talk to them because they're kind of in the same boat. And so you kind of get to know the people. It's more personable.
And now that you've experienced empowerment physical therapy, if your friend or a family member has pain and they were procrastinating over going to see someone, what would you tell them about physical therapy and us?
Well, I would tell them physical therapy is very different depending on where you go. Like I said, some places where I've gone for physical therapy in the past, basically they show you how to do an exercise, and you're in a big room with like 12 or 13 people, and you don't really get the supervision. So you don't really, at least for me, I didn't do them 100% correct.
Right.
And having the doctor really concentrating on you, and then he's recording every exercise you do on the computer. So from week to week, he keeps track of the order that you did the exercise, and what strength of the weights you were using, and the bands, the resistance bands. So from week to week, he charts exactly what you were doing and the progress you feel you're making. And then he added things as we went, like the cupping. He didn't do the cupping from day one. The cupping was something that he added like a month in. And then he added the TEMS, I think it's called the TEMS machine. You attach these like electrodes to it, and it vibrates, and it's supposed to, I think, get blood flow going. So he just added that last month. So he adds things, I guess, depending on how you're doing. So I would certainly recommend here as a place, and he doesn't pressure you into keep coming. He lets you decide if you think it's helping. Well, then he schedules more appointments.
What was the most valuable takeaway from your experience thus far?
That's a good question. I think the fact that there's hope for people. There was hope for me. I thought this next thing was just going to be chronic. It's just something I'd have to live with forever, or that would somehow magically go away. But that wasn't happening after 4 years. So even though you don't think sometimes that there's hope, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, there's hope that it pays to try something, and you hope it works. And for me, like, I saw an improvement within like 4 sessions, 2 weeks. So that's not much of an investment to see time, see improvement.